It's been over 5 months since I've done a new hardest in EToH, and since then I've beaten every single tower in the game except for 8. So today, we're going to be getting one of those out of the way by completing the Tower of Empty Meaningless Patterns, or ToEMP, a low mid catastrophic tower located in Zone 9. And I know a lot of people were expecting me to do ToEMP instead, but I chose this one since it actually seems like a really good tower. Though we'll have to see how well that holds up later in this video. Since this is a catastrophic, I of course had to start by practicing it. So over the course of 4 days, I dedicated around an hour to each day learning the tower. I normally tend to under-practice towers, but I knew this one was quite learny, so I was really going to make sure I had everything down before I started doing real runs. By the time the weekend came around, I felt like I was ready to start doing attempts on the tower, and I actually got off to a really good start on Saturday, August 18th, when I got to floor 5 on my first real attempt in only around half an hour. But floor 5 would be my first major roadblock, as it's not only the longest floor, but also contains some of the hardest jumps in the entire tower, such as this wiggle wrap and trust flick into a lodge. But thankfully I had done a lot of practice on this floor, so even though it took a few hours, I was eventually able to get to floor 6. Floor 6 is also really hard and will most likely send you back to the start of the tower if you fail. But the thing is, you have a very high chance of getting to floor 9 if you pass it, since 7 and 8 are netted. Although there's a little bit of a catch with 7, which I'll talk about later. But for now, let's see if I can get past 6. Alright, first time on floor 6 of this tower. Very cool. And I already failed. Yeah, that was a pretty quick fail. I definitely could have set that up a little better. But I kind of expected to fail 6 anyway, since I've really struggled with it in practice. And plus I managed to catch myself on 4, as I failed one of the only parts of 6 that doesn't send you all the way back to 1. Getting back up there still wasn't going to be easy though, because I was really inconsistent at the first half. But thankfully I was able to get in one more 6 attempt before the end of day 1. Unfortunately, as you can see from this footage, I've been having some issues with my webcam, especially at night. So I apologize for that. I'm working on getting it fixed, but that aside, here's what happened. Alright, we're on floor 6 yet again. This floor is not easy though. Let's align better this time. Nice, new PB. Drop out here. Now we have this really hard X-pusher momentum jump. Oh, we did it. Okay, that's bottom progress too. But I think this floor in general is just very hard. Flick fast, come on. This wall hop I wasn't able to practice properly. No, dude, I don't know how to do it because in practice it's like misaligned. At least we got bottom progress though, that's good. Dude, okay, let's try this. Nice, that actually worked. I like to do this from the bottom. For some reason, it just seems to work better for me. Now we have this little mini net, but you go right back into it immediately with that jump. Now we have this. Okay, cool. Wow, even though I sold that run pretty badly by going way too far to the left side of that truss, I definitely got a lot closer to passing 6, which I was happy about because it was one of the hardest floors for me. That was the last run I did on day 1 though, so I would just have to hope I could get to the net on day 2. Before we get into some more runs, I want to explain this tower's punishment system, since it's actually a pretty unique one. The tower itself has a good amount of button progress, with floor 1 being almost entirely button progress, and floor 2 getting nerfed to around extreme after you do it once. Plus floors 4 through 6 have a decent amount of it as well. And for the most part, you can catch yourself when you fall and keep your button progress, but for some reason, there's this small hole in the terrain that leads to the void, which gets rid of all your buttons. And even though there's only a few parts on floor 4 and floor 5 that are over it, I just could not stop falling in it. Despite this slowing down my progress a lot, as I had to keep getting the buttons over and over again every time this happened, the bigger issue was actually going to be the second half. You guys have already seen how hard floor 6 is, and even though 7 is technically netted, you have to redo this thing every time you fall, and if you fail this thing, it'll send you back to the start of 6, meaning you have to redo one of the hardest floors of the tower. But thankfully, if you do manage to get past 7, floor 8 is fully netted, pretty much guaranteeing you a run to floor 9. And being only 2 floors away from beating the tower, you would think that's close, but because of the nets in 7 and 8, they had to make 9 and 10 really hard in order to bring up the difficulty of the tower. Floor 9 is almost entirely over the void except for a few jumps, which will send you back to 1. And failing floor 10 will result in you getting sent back to the start of 9 and having to redo the most punishing floor of the tower. So basically, even if I did get past 6, my odds of beating the tower would still be very low. But if we want any chance at all, we're still gonna have to get back to 6. And that's exactly what I managed to do here. Okay, we're back at the second half here. 6 is so scary. Let's see if we can get past it this time. This floor is just a huge roadblock in general. Okay, that momentum jump is always so scary. Oh! Dude, I just can't wall hop for some reason. I think I'm just gonna have to manual it. I can't get the alignment key strategy down, it seems. And it really sucks because I can't practice it since I don't have VM, and in the practice place it's misaligned. No, dude, that wall hop is so hard. There we go. Bottom, left, wrap around. I'm not fully sure why I didn't go closer to the edge when I set that jump up, but it wasn't too much of an issue since I was finally getting consistent at the first half. So I was able to get back up there fairly easily. Back on 6. This floor is so hard. Okay, nice. We got our button. Very difficult wall hops. Dude, no. Nope, not even close. I had to flick so hard for that. Get enough height that time. More scary outside. Jeez, dude. Yet another 6 fail, but once again, getting the 6 was becoming a lot easier for me now. So I just got back up there and tried again. And for some reason, my mic wasn't working here, so I'll just quickly tell you guys what happened. I actually managed to get past my PB jump. Then I failed shortly after because I positioned my camera incorrectly for these corner flips. But at the time, I didn't even realize these corner flips were way easier if you put your camera flat like this. So I failed them twice. And then when I did finally manage to get past them, I did the exact same thing on the ones right after. I was able to get back there on that run though, and this time I did a lot better and got all the way to the very end of the floor. I was only a few jumps away from the net, but unfortunately, I hit the wall here, causing me to lose all my momentum and get sent back to 1. That one was actually pretty bad because that was one of the last jumps before the safety net, and I was actually starting to get a bit frustrated, failing 6 over and over again at this point. Okay, we are getting somewhere. Why did I get... Yeah, I somehow failed that same jump yet again. I was so close to getting to the net, but I just couldn't quite do it until this finally happened. Yep, that's right. You guys are seeing this correctly. I finally got to the safety net after all that time. All right, now we have this abomination of trusses. Yeah, but the safety net on 7 here is not the safest because you do have to do that weird shover spinner, I don't even know, at the bottom. That could definitely send you off. So I guess the goal is just to fail this part as little as possible. So far going well. There's also a little bit of bottom progress on this floor, but this jump right here is pretty sketchy. Oh yeah, wrap, flip, nice. There's a button coming up here, so let's hope we... Oh, I almost got it, and then I kind of forgot what to do there. Okay, let's actually do this properly this time, nice. And then into the lodge, and that's some bottom progress, which is good. Now we can just come right up here and do this really hard jump. Nice, actually first try the double corner flip. That should take us to floor 8. This floor is going to be a lot of loop failing, that's for sure, but it's fully netted. This net is quite a bit harder than the net on the last floor because it's timed. There's 3 time sections, but they do give you an extra net once you get to the 3rd one. It might take me a bit to just get to that 3rd one. Okay, we're on the 2nd one again. Just do that properly. No, I hit the wall again somehow. I kind of got this part down. Bounce off. Okay, that's kind of a cool mechanic. Jump, flip, jump, flip. All right, one more wrap around. Oh, I guess we gotta avoid that too. And nice, we get another net here. This one's pretty lenient. Let's just focus on actually getting to the lodge. And yeah, we finished with like 12 seconds left. And here we are, floor 9, where if we fall, we could very easily just end our run. We have to be very careful. And there's some very sketchy mechanics, like this. Big wrap. I thought I missed that for a second. Okay, this thing is like the worst, dude. This thing scares me so much. Okay, come on. Nice, nice, nice. We did that thing. Wrap. No! Yeah, we all saw that coming. I don't even think it's possible to first try floor 9 in this tower. But getting there was still really good progress, even if the last 2 floors were really hard. By the way, the jump I failed is actually one of the easiest jumps in 9, but I was overcomplicating it for the longest time. All you have to do is go into 3rd person and wrap like this, and it becomes really easy. But anyways, even though I just failed 9, I was still feeling very good about beating this tower soon. So I decided to just record a run from floor 1 to see if I was consistent enough to showcase the entire first half, and this ended up happening. Okay, since I'm actually starting to make some progress now, I just wanted to do a quick walk through this tower. This tower will be so hard. The first floor is not that similar to the rest of the tower, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you don't really see jumps like this. And this floor also has a ton of bottom progress, as you can probably already see. By the way, you can skip this entire part by just jumping up there if you want to. And we get a little bit of a net. And this thing is still really hard for me to this day. And now this floor is almost entirely bottom progress. And we're on to floor 2, you just touch this to start. And floor 2 is gonna start off decently hard, but once you do this floor once, it gets nerfed, which is pretty nice. You can tell I've been at these floors way too many times. Nice if we could actually first try this floor. I don't know, I'm not good at 2-step climb-ups though, but we got it. And now we have a little bit of a net, though this part is pretty hard. This jump is hard though, barely fit in that gap. Basically the final jump. And then nice, we got the floor 2 bottom progress. Floor 3 really abuses this corner flip mechanic, as you can see. Lots and lots of corner flips, some of them getting pretty crazy. This is probably the shortest floor. And then for these trusses, I do the first one, and then the second one I just touch the teleporter. Basically this floor is netted, but only if you fall in the middle where there's like 5 billion spinners are. So just do not fail on the edges, like on this part, for example. Oh my gosh. Oh, what a save. I saved myself from like the beat block platforms. There's also a good amount of button progress on this floor, as you can see by that first part, and now that button as well. It's very easy to lose all your button progress if you fail here, because you see that tiny hole down there? I keep falling in there somehow. Spinner seems complicated, but once you actually learn it, it's pretty easy. And then I used to struggle with this, but you just gotta make really small flicks. And you were on floor 5, which is the longest floor of the tower. Starts off with this very hard jump. First person, W and flip at the exact same time. Oh, that was close, but this floor just has like small bits of bottom progress scattered throughout. That's a hard flip. Did it first try though. And then this will be netted later, but for now it'll send us back quite a bit if we fail it. This thing's just all about timing, of course. I like to go a little late. And then this is just pure practice. Once you get the rhythm down, you should be fine. Once you get this button, you have to do this jump, which I find to be pretty hard. And then this is a really hard wiggle wrap. Way too sharp, but all good. Oh, shoot. Oh, actually landed that. Personally, I find this one to be harder. You have to align it, trust flick, jump off really late, and then turn in the gap. Jumps are long. Do not underestimate these. Now we're at floor 6, but also has a little bit of bottom progress. Block is scary because you have to make that jump onto that one stud. And then this wall hop is purely just loop failing until you get it. Yeah, nice. So before you get the bottom progress for that wall hop, there's quite a few more things you gotta do. This jump, which I am not good at, and then these scary jumps on and outside. There is our bottom progress for the wall hop at least. Whoa, that was so sketchy. What happened there? Now we're nearing the net. Still got some stuff left though, that's for sure. Yeah, line, then do the jump. It's so scary because it's just like right before the net. And then you got to the net, let's go. Though like I said, you can really not get like too confident here because of that thing at the bottom. Nope. Okay, we are at the net yet again, and I really need to preserve these attempts because we have learned that this net does not last forever. Eventually what happened to me is gonna happen. I wish I could just like first try the net, but there's just a few jumps. We actually did first try that somehow. Okay, we are on floor 9 yet again. Things are gonna be difficult. Crystal is a lifesaver for that. Okay, do this jump the right way. And new PB though. Remember what I practiced. Into the middle, go down, flip, climb up. I find this thing to be very hard, I'm not gonna lie. Ease, yes, okay. Not gonna get much easier considering this spinning platform is next. Yes, tight, tight, wrapped, simple wraps. Stressful moving platform now. Okay, we are on floor 10, and the lighting is gonna do this to my face again. Okay, that's fine. Final floor, practice for this. Oh, almost got off to a not great start, but it's okay. We're good, we just keep going. I prefer to upwards momentum this. And then this is just jump, hook, shift. No! No! Aw, dang, dude. Once again, a very expected fail since 10 is the hardest floor of this tower. But still, very good progress. All I had to do was get the last 2 floors down in practice, and I would have a very good chance of beating the tower. So that was what I spent the rest of the night doing, and I know I had a good shot at doing it on day 3. I actually got off to a pretty rough start on day 3 because it took me forever to get past the first floor and I just felt like I wasn't going to be able to play well enough to beat it. But that all changed when I got another net run. Just like the other 2, I was able to pass 7 and 8 without much trouble. But then this happened on 9. Okay, we are back on floor 9. We really need to learn. Every one of these videos just has to have the dumbest fail possible in it, I guess. And that's what this was, because this jump is literally meant to be netted, but I turned into the lodge just a bit early, causing the only 9 fail I had where I actually landed on the terrain. Not falling into the void there actually turned out to be really helpful though, as I was able to get back to 9 on the same run because I didn't lose my button progress. I definitely should have changed my strat for this jump after failing it the first time, but I was set on doing it like this for some reason, leading to my second fail on it. After this, I figured out it was much better to just do it like a regular wrap, since if you fail doing it that way, you'll probably just hit the teleporter brick anyways. So from then on, I was gonna do it like this. It wasn't long before I got to use this new strat, because after taking a small break, I pulled off my 3rd 9 attempt that day, and here's how it went. Genuinely, can I please just like lock in for a little bit here? One down there, you know what to do. The one netted jump, and this extremely sketchy thing. There we go. Lock in on that jump, dude. Not hit the edge here. The difficulty definitely does not stop there though. Tight wrap, there we go. Under the truss. Okay, floor 10 yet again. Oh, it's so scary. Downwards momentum in here. Upwards momentum in here. PB jump. Dude, why are my fingers just like doing this right now? Nice PB, new PB, new PB. Okay, this jump is insanely hard. Yes, and a little back. 1, 2, 3. Jump, big wrap, bounce onto this. Slowly climb around it. Nice, we landed that. Now we got a big truss flick here. Yes, falling platforms. And we got a huge flick here. Okay, spinners, don't panic. Wrap onto the truss. And we got a long flick that you cannot underestimate. Wrap. That was so close. Please, please, dude. Please, dude. There's no way. There's no way. No, this is actually not happening. I refuse to believe it until I actually see it. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There is no way! Let's go! Let's go, dude! I actually did it! Only a 3-day grind too. Oh my gosh. We don't get a win room and we still have the low speed. That's kind of funny, but hardest completion, ToEMP. Finally not ToJF anymore. Let's go, dude. After only 3 days of grinding, I beat my third Catastrophic and new hardest tower in EToH, the Tower of Empty Meaningless Patterns. And honestly, this was by far my favorite catty yet. It's really interesting because a few months ago, I was kind of dreading this tower since I expected it to be really gimmicky and inconsistent. But I was completely wrong, as it ended up being one of the most fun grinds I've ever had. I feel like this tower really does not get enough attention. I rarely see people do it as a new hardest, even though it's a huge skill booster and just an amazing tower overall, along with many others in Zone 9. I think a lot of people are drawn away from it because it's a bit difficult to learn due to the corner flip mechanics and unique style of gameplay. But once you actually learn it, it gets really consistent and satisfying to play. So if there's one thing you should take away from this video, it's don't sleep on ToEMP, because even though it might not be for everyone, it's definitely worth a try. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. School started again, so the uploads might slow down a little, but I'm trying my best to get these videos out consistently for you all. So thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let's hit 4K soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one.